A Fool's War. Written by Exhausted Boy 87. On Wattpad, an archive of our own. Kaminari let the charging cord fall from his mouth with a loud, exaggerated exhale, sinking into the common room couch. As much as he enjoyed spending time with his friends, he missed his partner. You had been busy the last couple of weeks studying with a few of your classmates in Yaoyoruzu's dorm room. His sulking was disrupted by an annoyed Bakugo, shaking the end of the charger in his face.
Noi, dunce face. Less sulking, more charging.
He grumbled.
What's your problem anyway?
He's just upset that Traveler has been busy because he lives off memes and affection, Sero replied, without looking up from his phone.
What a stupid reason to whine.
Bakugo huffed and stretched out his limbs as he stood up. Kirishima tapped his chin in thought.
Didn't you get upset when your partner didn't text you back after their work study?
Kirishima instantly regretted bringing it up once he felt the intense raging glare Bakugo shot his way. Kaminari pouted and pointed at Bakugo accusingly. See? You're no better! He yelped when a sparking hand came close to his face.
Either get over it and fix your problem yourself, or I'll kill you.
With that warning, Bakugo left to go to bed. The common room was quiet for a moment before Sero looked over to Kaminari. Why don't you try talking to them and make plans for when they aren't busy?
Or you can do something to get their attention.
Mina chipped in.
In a couple of days, it's April Fool's Day. Maybe you can pull a prank on them.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Kaminari brightened up for a moment. Then he remembered and sighed again. But I've never had a successful prank. It's like they know when I'm gonna do something stupid, Sero offered. Kaminari sat up from his lying position to pout at Sero. Hey! Okay. Maybe you're not wrong. He sighed once more. It felt like he had been doing that a lot lately.
Maybe you just gotta put more thought into it. Think outside the box. Something they're not expecting you to do.
Kirishima suggested.
Don't worry, dude. We'll help you out. With us all working together, we should be able to come up with the greatest prank ever.
He pumped his fist into the air, while the other two agreed. Thanks, you guys. He smiled and jumped to his feet. Then Operation April Fools is a go! He and the others cheered, resulting in a scolding from Ida. The next few days passed and Kaminari plotted before putting things into action. He felt confident that this would work. After all, you had been too busy to foil his plans. As the day came, Kaminari fidgeted with excitement, glancing between Mr. Aizawa and the clock. The hands seemed to move so slow. Well, more than usual, but once the bell for lunch rang, he jumped up and quickly went to your desk. Hey there, my bundle of sunshine. You look nice today. He gave you a wide grin, trying to not come off as suspicious. Thanks? You stood up from your seat and crossed your arms. Are you up to something? What? Me? Of course not! Why would you think I'm up to something? He laughed nervously and scratched behind his head, glancing at Mina for help. He never did well under pressure. Mina noticed Kaminari's pleading eyes and bounced over, linking arms with you.
So, Traveler, are you going to be joining us for lunch? We've missed you when you were studying.
She gave a small pout.
You better fucking say yes.
Bakugo growled.
If I have to hear the overgrown Pikachu complain about missing you one more time, I'm ripping out his vocal cords.
Well, I finished yesterday, so I'm back to keeping him safe from Bakugo's wrath.
Mina and Kaminari cheered happily as Kaminari linked onto your free arm and followed behind an annoyed Bakugo. Once everyone was seated at an open table, you sat between Kaminari and Sero as you usually would. You began to eat your food, humming happily at the savory flavors of your favorite meal.
Are you ever gonna eat anything actually good for you?
Bakugo asked as he once again became the passive-aggressive parent of the group.
Says you.
You mumbled with food in your mouth, quickly swallowing and pointing at him.
Mister eats overly spicy food. I bet you've destroyed your taste buds.
No, it's just that I'm not a weakling like you.
Say that again, explodey boy. I dare ya. I am not weak.
Then prove it.
He held out his bowl of extra spicy curry, with a smirk plastered on his face.
Fine.
You reached over to scoop up some of the food and brought it up to your mouth. The aroma of the spices almost burned your nose. Even without putting it into your mouth, you could taste them. Once the food touched your tongue and you began to chew, you hummed in surprise.
This is really good. It's not even that spicy.
You began to regret your previous comment as you felt your eyes water and your mouth felt like it was on fire. You hurried your chewing and forced yourself to swallow it before pointing at Bakugo.
See? I can handle it.
You choked out, trying to hide the fact that you were moments away from chugging a gallon of milk in hopes to soothe the burning that seemed to be spreading to your lungs. Bakugo's expression became smug as he watched you struggling to keep your tough act up. While you two continued your little spat, the others looked amongst each other and decided to scrap the original plan altogether and use this to their advantage. By the time they had focused back on the both of you, you were reaching across the table to where Bakugo was holding your water bottle away from you as you stood from your seat, stretching your arm and voiced multiple ineffective threats that only seemed to make him further the bottle from your reach. Kaminari finally stepped in and tugged your sleeve to get your attention.
Hey babe, don't worry, I got something that should help. I always use this when I eat something spicy.
He grinned, gently tugging you back down onto your seat and began digging through his bag. At this point, you were desperate for anything to stop the burning, so this grabbed your attention. You heard the pop of a lid being removed before his hand retreated from the bag, holding his hand out to you. There in the palm of his hand was a small, squishy object that many would associate with dirty laundry and stupid social media trends. A Tide Pod. You looked at the pod before looking up to Kaminari's face, who displayed innocence. You had no words to express the amount of concern and outright horror of what was being presented to you. Looking over, you saw that Bakugo shared the same expression, but while yours and Bakugo's reactions were genuine, the other three were doing their best to not burst out laughing so as to not ruin the prank.
Denki?
You started.
Please tell me you're joking.
No, it really does help. Plus, it's so good, but if you don't want it, then more for me.
He gave a small shrug before pulling his hand back and popping the pod into his mouth. And chewed. Quickly snapping out of your stunned state, you pounced onto Kaminari, shaking his shoulders.
You idiot! Spit that out right now!
No, they're too good.
He protested with his mouth half full.
Denki Kaminari! I swear, if this doesn't kill you, then I will!
Your panic and rage were interrupted when you heard the same pop of a lid, before hearing Mina's voice saying,
OMG, these really are good! Traveler, you totally need to try these. Mina!
You shrieked, snatching the small box of the forbidden gushers away from your pink friend.
Are you both crazy? You're not supposed to eat these! Are you trying to die?
As you scolded the two, Bakugo came up and grabbed one of the pods from the opened box in your hands. He examined it and took a quick sniff before biting into it. His eyebrow twitched when his suspicions were confirmed.
It's Jello.
Bakugo said in a voice that validated just how done he was with the so-called Baku squad. You stopped mid-sentence, slowly turning your head to the ash blonde.
Excuse me?
The idiots made Jello look like those shitty Tide Pod things.
April Fools!
The guilty four yelled in unison before bursting into a fit of laughter. You groaned, but were relieved that no one was in danger of eating something they shouldn't. As much as you wanted to be mad, you were impressed that Kaminari succeeded in pranking you. Kaminari picked himself up from the floor and came over to you. He wrapped his arm around your shoulder.
I guess that's 1 for me and 0 for you, babe.
He gave a playful wink before pressing a soft kiss to your cheek. He grabbed one of the Jello treats and brought it to your lips.
Though, you really have to try these. Sato helped us make them.
You opened your mouth and bit into the Jello, and hummed in surprise.
Oh, wow. That is good. I'm going to have to ask Sato for the recipe.
Lunch came to an end, and the Baku squad walked out together. You held Kaminari's hand as you both trailed behind, a thought popping into your head.
You do realize this means war, right?
Kaminari laughed and nodded in agreement.
Yeah, an April Fool's War.
Thank you for tuning in to another fanfiction reading. If you like what I do or would prefer to just fall asleep to my voice, please hit that like button, ring that bell, and subscribe to my channel. I would just like to thank, I believe, Exhausted Boy 87 for this really delightful fanfiction on Kaminari. Please follow them on their Wattpad and AO3 account, listed in the description below and of course on the video as well. Other than that, thank you for visiting. I hope to hear from you soon, next we meet.